It's something. We are live.
Let me just open
Yeah.
my.
Awesome.
Hello, everyone. Can you all hear us, see us?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Let us know if you can hear us, see us fine. I just tried something new. I hope it's working. I can see that we are live, but I just
On
want to make sure.
your profile, right, Faiza?
No, Women in Tech PK's page.
Okay. Hmm. Oh, yeah, I think. Let me share that as well.
Email.
I can see it now.
I hope.
So we are through page, so we can share it, right?
Email. I hope it is so we can share it, right?
We're good. I think I checked the page and also the community as well. Hello, everyone. If you can hear us, if you can see us, let us know in the comment section. We'll just wait for a minute or two before we kick this off.
Yeah, absolutely. And let me just put it out in the community also because I saw that a lot of people uh, were waiting for this to start. So let's do that. Just see a few people watching also. Okay. So, yeah, maybe for people who don't know, like you and I, maybe like an introduction would be a good idea.
Yeah, for sure. I can start. I think they know you probably and not me. I can start with my introduction. Can give you a little bit of background of why we are here. And then maybe Faiza can give her updated introduction and then we can start taking question and answer. If I start speaking more English, feel free to call me out. I'll try to keep it as bilingual as possible. Hi everyone, my name is Hira. I am the founder of CaterpillHERs. We started CaterpillHERs 5 years ago to help women in Pakistan start and scale their businesses. We started helping women launch their careers back in 2011, no, 2021. And since then, we have done some amazing programs on freelancing, on teaching women how to start their freelancing careers, teaching women how they can start and scale and pivot their product management careers. We recently concluded a program called Skills to Income program, where we worked with more than 55 women from all over Pakistan, especially from the areas where flood had impacted, to teach them skills and then also help them learn freelancing. And towards the end, we also help them land some new exciting roles in tech as well. Um, a little bit about me, I have a background in journalism and marketing, and now obviously entrepreneurship. And I also work as a marketing director at one of the startups here in Austin, Texas. That's my background. I very passionately create content on social media. There's just one space that I enjoy for myself. So I do that. Some of you probably follow me there, some of you don't. So today's discussion between Faiza and me is more, I think we used to do that, Faiza, a lot when we started Freelance Accelerator, but then for some reason we stopped. But I'm really excited to do this again, really excited to check in with those who have been following us, who have been following Caterpillars. If there are any alumni listening to us, would love to speak to you all as well. Yeah, today's topic is just going to be very candid discussion about freelancing, digital economy, and we can answer any other question that you may have about the program as well.
Yeah, thank you, Hira. So, hello everyone. You are watching Women in Tech PK, so I'm sure you know me. My name is Faiza. I have been working in tech for the past 15 years. That's going to tell you that I'm probably older than a lot of you. My area is product management, and with CaterpillHERs, Hira and I, we built accelerators for women, as Hira mentioned. I do a lot of other work in community. So, Women in Tech PK is something that I run. I also work with Shamim and Dr. Balji to run CodeGirls, which is a program that we run in Karachi, Skardu, and Cape Town. Um, a lot of my work is around women's inclusion in tech, but other than that, I do a lot of consulting work on Upwork with clients across the globe. The work is around product management mainly and strategy building. And I'm really excited to see what kind of questions you all have because हम देख रहे हैं कि trends change हो रहे हैं, बहुत सारे hurdles हैं, बहुत सारी opportunities हैं. Global economic downturn is another factor that a lot of people are worried about. So a conversation where we all talk about what the future holds is really important. हेरा एक एक क्वेश्चन जो है वो I think this is something that we keep on hearing from a lot of women, especially women who do have a skill set but do not have the confidence to pursue it in the sense के मेरे पास काम का एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है, यूनिवर्सिटी में पढ़ा है, बूट कैंप पे पढ़ा है, अब फ्रीलांसिंग करनी है लेकिन मैं काम कैसे दिखाऊं, या आई डू नॉट फील कॉन्फिडेंट कि मैं पूरा प्रोजेक्ट खुद से लेके कंप्लीट कर सकती हूँ. So, do you have any ideas or any tips for them in terms of starting something that they have never done professionally and freelancing is their first exposure in that? You're muted.
Sorry. I think that's how all of us started. I think that's how you probably started as well. The career that we had before freelancing versus what we did at freelancing was different. I think all of us had exposure to the industry that through freelancing, you can obviously work with global clients, you have freedom of your time and blah, blah, blah. But a lot of us were doing things that were different in our full-time jobs. When I started freelancing, I was basically working as a more generalist marketeer at a company, but I knew that I enjoyed writing. So when I started freelancing, I only just started as a writer. And that's how I think a lot of us can test the waters to see the skill set that we have. How is it going to be monetized? What does the industry demand in that skill? If there's enough clients in that skill, how many other freelancers are providing the similar service, how much they're charging. So I think when somebody is starting, even if you do not have a career, whatever you're doing in your full-time job right now, I would say just start with the idea of monetizing it and make that service available for a wider net. That applies to most of the things. That applies to people who are just doing basic teaching. I'm sure if you're a teacher, you're a mathematics teacher, you're a physics teacher, you're a chemistry teacher, or any other teacher, you can just package that teaching as a service and start offering it to a wider net through social media, through freelancing platforms, and see where it takes you. I think this is one thing about gig economy, especially I think gig economy that is more prevalent in countries like India, Pakistan, and other Asian countries as well, where a lot of us have those wider skill set that many other people don't have. That includes teaching folks other language as well. That includes tuition culture, that include consulting culture. So बहुत सारी ऐसे avenues हैं that you can easily explore. And my advice, and after that, Faiz, I would ask you the same question as well. My advice would be that even if you're even just working as a teacher, private tuition दे रही हैं, आप कुछ भी कर रही हैं, think about how you can offer exactly the same service to other people and how you can widen the net of the audience that you're reaching. There are tons of opportunities for no matter what you're doing. It is just about that you stop thinking to that one box of 9 to 5 and start thinking more like that my skill is universal. So let me find global opportunities for it.
Yeah, I agree. I think in my case also, so when I started freelancing, so my skill set was quality assurance, deployments, and project management. but when I started with product management because बहुत सारी ट्रांसफरेबल स्किल्स हैं, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं, पर्सपेक्टिव है। मैंने बहुत सारा डॉक्यूमेंटेशन का काम किया था, रिसर्च का काम किया था, यूजर मार्केट रिसर्च का इन माय प्रीवियस कंपनीज एज लाइक स्मॉलर असाइनमेंट्स दैट द सीईओ's pet project that he has given you कि जाओ इसको एक्सप्लोर करके आओ and you've built something out of it. So I started working as a product manager because Upwork Pay I started finding work for product management because people would say कि अच्छा आपको project management की ये 4 चीजें आती हैं, 2 चीजें नहीं है, can you learn and do that? And that's how I did. And eventually over the years, I do not consider myself a writer. I cannot write beautifully like you. I can write lists, a lot of lists. Things that strategically make sense in the sense that you plan things and step by step things, checklist and stuff like that. And then I realized that a lot of people also are looking for people who can organize the chaos of their work. And in my case, it was the chaos of a lot of knowledge around products. So
Yeah.
आपके पास user research के notes हैं, market research के notes हैं, feedback है, somebody who's synthesizing those, who's getting actionable item out of those. A lot of this work now can be done by a generative AI, but a lot of that work still requires a person
Yeah.
with the perspective and understanding of the market. Um, and then एक और I think and इसी के बीच में I wrote a book also 80
Hmm.
90,000 words on product management because I cannot write about anything but I can write about things that I know. So I found that niche also that I started developing a
Yeah.
lot of content around product management. और वहीं से शायद हमारा वो अपने एक्सीलेटर का आइडिया भी निकला because we saw that
Yes.
people want that skill set. It's really highly rated. I think confidence. Of course, you and I also feel like shaky sometimes when something new comes up. Lekin you also realize that clear and honest communication, being transparent about things, and then giving your best is the only way to go. I don't think that there is another way around it. There is no magic confidence ki pill that we can give you.
Yeah. And I think a lot of skill learning is the same. You start with an open canvas and you think, oh, this is so hard, I'm not even gonna be able to do it. But I think we were having this discussion a few days ago on that Zoom call that we had with Sarah, where somebody was saying that they are starting a new skill and then they feel shaky that they're not able to do it. So I was telling them the same thing, that it feels like this giant elephant when you're learning it, but slowly and gradually जब आपके पास knowledge आना शुरू होती है, feedback आना शुरू होता है, you feel more and more confidence. So I think there's definitely an argument of, is this confidence only because you're confident, or is this confident now that you've gone through the journey and आपके पास इतनी knowledge है, then now you can back that with that knowledge. So a lot of the confidence is just sticking to your guns. A lot of confidence is just saying that, okay, so I know this, I'm gonna get through this, and by the time you're at the finish line, वो confidence back कर सकता है because you've spent enough time. And that I think is the easiest way you can gain confidence. And this is why I was saying that a lot of women in Pakistan, majority of the women in Pakistan are doing wonderful things. अगर वो professionally इन्होंने कोई 10-20 साल नहीं भी लगाए in an office job, they're doing wonderful things at home as well. And it's about perspective, that the skill set that you have, how you can use that skill set to make more income, to get financially independent. And nobody teaches us that you can get out of that mindset, that if you have to have a white collar coding, marketing, writing skill and work 9 to 5 job and then spend 8 years there. And I mean, after that, you're going to like become like a freelancer who would have a laptop and would be able to work from anywhere. आई थिंक मुझे लगता है कि इतना छोटा सा भी आपके पास स्किल सेट है कि आप मैथ्स में अच्छे हैं. Just think about how you can teach maths to any kid sitting anywhere in the world. And that can be something that you can build your career in. It's just about getting out of that mindset के ये हमारे पास होना चाहिए था तो हम इसको monetize कर सकते थे. And that I feel is a mindset block more than anything else.
And I think absolutely agreed. And दो चीजें इसके अंदर और हैं. एक चीज के being able to communicate what you can do. वो नहीं
Yeah.
होता। तो
Yeah.
अगर आप शोकेस नहीं कर सकते, मैं ये कहूँ कि आई एम एन एक्सपर्ट इन समथिंग, बट व्हेन यू आस्क मी एन एग्जांपल ऑफ दैट एंड आई कांट गिव एन एग्जांपल, देन
Yeah.
दैट्स अ प्रॉब्लम. Either you don't say that you are an expert and you say you are learning and you are on this journey and you go from there, or if
Yeah.
you are somebody who has a lot of experience, now you need to show it and being able to communicate it. एक चीज ये है. दूसरा है relationship building. This is something that I think that is really important. तुम्हारे केस में भी, I think मेरे भी, that I was telling somebody today that the last time I professionally interviewed for something was like, I think I mentioned it to you also 12 years ago, because since then it's just me going somewhere talking to people and somebody is going to give some work to me or a project to us उस तरह से.
Hmm.
तो वो सारी जो है कॉन्वर्सेशंस वो रिलेशनशिप बिल्डिंग की है. एंड देन यू हैव टू बिल्ड अ रैपो विद पीपल, दैट पीपल नो कि अच्छा यार इसको काम देंगे हो जाएगा, दिस पर्सन इज रिलायबल. एंड यू नीड टू बी नॉट समवन दैट पीपल वुड वांट टू बी फ्रेंड्स और हैंग आउट विद. आई डोंट थिंक दैट्स द गोल, बट
Yeah.
पीपल एटलीस्ट नो एंड लाइक एंड ट्रस्ट फॉर द वर्क दैट दे वांट आउट ऑफ यू. तो
Yeah.
in my case also, the freelancing clients that I work with, just a test gorilla, I've been working with them
Hmm.
for so long. After every 3 months a new project is started, small project, $2,000-4,000 ka, then it closes, then it started another one.
Hmm.
So it's been going on for a very long time. One of my oldest client, I think we started since 2019. I spend like 2 hours a week with him, and I've made 30, 40, 40, $45,000 out of him. It's a very like relationship building
Very
wala project,
sustainable as
right?
well. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's not कि मैंने एक blog लिख के दे दिया, एक logo बनाकर दे दिया, एक project करके दे दिया. Now you need to make sure that you are part of the team. और वो
Yeah.
चीज लैक करती है, because हम जब फ्रीलांसिंग की बात करते हैं तो हम उसको सिर्फ गिग समझते हैं. It's not
Yeah.
that. It's a career. It's not a gig, right?
Yeah.
Um, that you just did it and you got out of the situation and now you don't care about what's happening there. No, no, no. You have to like take the whole responsibility, and that gets you paid well. I think so.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think, and I think that's where the line is that people don't understand. Oh, I do freelancing on the side versus I'm a full-time freelancer. And do you think that you need to spend certain amount of years before you jump the ship and become a full-time freelancer? Or do you think it is the right strategy that you just you jump the ship, you become a full-time freelancer, and obviously फिर आपके ऊपर pressure होगा, फिर आपके ऊपर deadlines होंगी, and then you'll just give your best shot. Because I think when you're just treading water slowly and gradually and you're just playing safe, you're just never able to jump the ship. You're like, okay, मेरे पास एक sustainable income आ रही है, and I'll just keep doing this on side. I've always felt that whenever I've done freelancing on the side, I've never been fully committed to it. I've always taken it, आ गया कोई project तो कर लेंगे, नहीं आया तो not the end of the world. But when I was full-time, that's when I started seeing the most success, because then there's no other paycheck that's coming. That's all you have to do.
I think इसमें there are two things. One ये कि I always recommend people to do have some sort of work experience before you
Hmm.
go full time, because you need to
Hmm.
learn the way the professional world works and the way people communicate. It's a very good way of kind of improving yourself, that आपके पास कुछ work
Yeah.
experience हो. So you and I also got into freelancing after some years of work experience.
Hmm.
दूसरी चीज about full time freelancing, I think when you focus on one thing, you do better. So,
Hmm.
if you are just doing it now, you will be submitting proposals, reaching out to people, pitching your services, doing those things. लेकिन अगर आप उसको you do it कि मेरे पास हफ्ते के 2 घंटे और मैं 2 घंटे freelancing कर लूंगी, then it's a hit and miss process, like more of a hit and miss process.
Yeah.
If you are committed to it and you are full time, then you are going to find ways. Upwork or Fiverr are not the only ways to get work. As I mentioned, that you and I talk to a lot of people, meet with a lot of people, discuss what we do, ask what they do, and then from their conversation, something comes out of it. So use of social media, use of other different other ways to kind of connecting with people and finding out if your services are needed. That's important. So if you are doing it full time, if you can do that, if you can afford to leave your job and just dive head first, then of course give yourself a timeline also. I need to find my first client in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever. I need to make that much amount of money in 90
Yeah.
days. So make sure that you are goal driven also, and then you are doing every day something to, achieve that goal. But if you're going to take it just as a side hustle, then
Yeah.
it's going to stay a side hustle.
Or always as a backup. I've heard a lot of people who only take it as a backup. "Ki, acha, if this won't work out, then I'll do this." And it's a chicken and it can be a chicken and egg situation. But I also think when I was working as a freelancer full time, the amount of learning that I had about the skill set that I was exploring, about clients, about communication, about different platforms, and I was giving full-time attention to it. That's when the most success I've had. And like anything in life, I think if something doesn't work out, there is always a plan B. You can always go back to do things that work for you, and everybody has different dynamic, different financial responsibilities. So having said that, that doesn't mean everybody should just leave and their established careers and get into it. But I do think there is definitely an argument that when you are fully invested in building this career, when you actually show up every single day, that's when you build that strong foundation that even if in the next 10 years you're doing a full-time job, on the side, you will continuously get supplemental income. That is extremely important. One thing that I've learned recently in my life is that no matter even if it's your business or whatever, the actual freedom of time that you get is when any job become optional for you. It can be your own company too. And when we talk about freedom, that the freelancing give you freedom, I think that definition changed the whole game for me. Okay, the actual freedom is that when the work becomes optional for me. And वो work आपकी full time job भी हो सकता है, when वो आपका काम भी हो सकता है, वो कुछ भी हो सकता है. So if that helps somebody out there who is still thinking कि उसको ये करना चाहिए, वो करना चाहिए, the actual freedom is कि आपको काम ना करना पड़े. So अगर काम वहाँ भी करना पड़ा, यहाँ भी करना पड़ा, so why not do it for yourself? Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Hira, we have a lot of questions and comments coming in. Let me just go through them quickly. Majubin is saying, very well said, Faiza, how many opportunities are there for people who want to start their career as project managers? Project managers come in different shapes and sizes and flavors. What kind of project management? Do you want to be a software, a technical project management? You want to be an impact specific project program manager? You want to be a general construction company, a project manager? It depends. When it comes to freelance opportunities, a lot of project managers either start from the software side or they start from the EA side. The EA side is your virtual assistant, executive assistant type के roles हैं, जहाँ से लोग project management में move करते हैं या लोग software से move करते हैं. Both have opportunities. We have seen that. We have placed EAs and PMs ourselves via COE. So we do see opportunities in that area. Number of opportunities you will have to research. I cannot tell you. Almas is saying hello all. Rabia Saif is saying hello, can't wait to learn from both of you in the sixth cohort. I think she's somebody who has joined the sixth cohort. Sahar Jamal is saying most of us undervalue our skills. Once you start freelancing, you realize the potential you were not able to see. Absolutely.
That's a really,
Uh,
really good point. I think that's one thing that we've seen, Pfizer, from our Caterpillars cohort as well, that people keep saying that they didn't even know that they are able to do this, that they are able to do now. I think nothing against 9 to 5 careers. I think when you are doing a full-time job or when you are stuck in whatever rut, it could be rut of your own home as well, it could be rut of anything. I think you sometimes start undervaluing how much potential you have. And freelancing is one field. Just because you're talking to so many clients, you're working with so many companies, so many types of people, it helps you see that potential that I think no other field has the potential to do that, until or unless you are in a very client facing, front facing role at a company where you're working with multiple clients. But that's one gift of freelancing that I have, I think, in my life. कि मैंने कितने किस्म के लोगों के साथ काम किया है, कितनी कंट्रीज में किया है, कितनी सारी products और उस पे किया है. And that tells you that you have it in you. So that's a really good comment, Sahar. Thank you for sharing that.
I was recently, you remember, I was updating my profiles and everything. So I was trying to see कि मैंने कितने continents पे लोगों के साथ काम किया, and I worked on all continents other than Antarctica. So that's amazing also, right? And I
Yeah,
was joking with somebody that maybe, we need to find somebody who's giving work from Antarctica to see if we can do some work. So
you can move there.
yeah, why not?
Yeah.
If they have good internet, why not? Rabia Saif is saying, I second that, something you said, or I said, I guess. Afsha Yunus is saying, totally agreed with goal-oriented mindset. Rabia is saying she has another question. What about productivity and time management? Do you have an answer to that? Because she's saying, Aage, ke since home is a comfort zone, how can you stay productive while working from home?
Yeah, that's a good question, and I think something that I've definitely struggled with, especially when I was in Pakistan. I think life outside Pakistan is different, but when you're in Pakistan, most of us live in a joint family. You have five, six people living in one house, and then especially if you live in an apartment, that's a whole different story. So there are a few things that I did when I was working full time from home, especially during COVID, is I decided that I will never ever work from my bed. So it is a very normal and I think casual thing. जब आपको कोई call पे ना जाना हो, कुछ ना करना हो, आप उठे, आपने laptop उठाया and you just start working. I think for me that was more mental as well, that I would wake up, and for me to be able to get into the work mode, I need to leave the bed, I need to make the bed and never look at that bed for the next 8 hours at least, take my laptop and go to the other room. Even the days when I had my desk in my bedroom, I always used to work from my desk. I think a lot of it is psychological as well. I always used to change clothes. I always used to comb my hair, look decent, even if I do not have a video call, to get myself into that mode. And you will see that the moment you will change clothes, the moment you will take a shower, the moment you'll feel like you're ready for work, all of a sudden you turn into this person that who's now ready to work. सो तीन चार चीजें आई थिंक साइकोलॉजिकल होती हैं. एक आपको सेपरेशन चाहिए होती है फ्रॉम द प्लेस वेयर यू स्लीप versus the place you're working on. आपको थोड़ी सी separation चाहिए होती है, the clothes that you're sleeping in plus the clothes that you're working in. And also I think कोई भी ऐसा corner घर के अंदर ढूंढ लें जहाँ पे जो है वो distraction कम से कम हो. That helps a lot. um, these were a few things that used to help me kind of like stay productive when I was working from home. I don't know if you all do that or not. Especially when I'm working from home, I cannot work without any sort of focus music, any type of cafe music, jazz music playing in the background. Um, that I still do. Every single time I feel that I'm distracted for some reason, I'm picking my phone up a lot, I'm scrolling Instagram, I'm doing this or that. When I have a giant work that I need to finish, I basically put my phone upside down and I just play the focus music and I just get to work. So ये कुछ चीजें आपको adopt करनी पड़ती हैं, वरना घर से काम करना is very hard. Faiza can add more to it because I think she has extreme discipline in that. I've been to her house and I know उसने अपना एक cave बनाया हुआ है where she works. My bedroom was my cave when I was working from home. So yeah. But these are the few things that I used to follow and they used to help a lot. But it is difficult to work from home unless you don't do these things. It will just get really
Hmm.
difficult.
I 100% agree. I never ever work from my bed. I don't even work from the same room. I'm fortunate enough to have another spare room that I have my desk in. I'm also very spoiled because I need two screens to work. So it's even if I'm working from outside, I don't like it because I need my second screen. Um, instead of focus, I love focus music, but more than that, I like to hear. I don't know, you guys will find it funny, but 40 hertz frequencies, they really help if you want focus. So I will play it for like an hour to do like a 50 minutes ka sprint, play it, get the work done, get up, move around the house, come back, and then do a 50 minutes. So I won't sit for the whole, even for a whole hour unless I'm in a meeting. And sometimes during in the meetings, I will also get up and do something around the house. If you think that you can sit for 8 hours straight, you are wrong. You can't. It's going to create a rot in your brain in the sense कि phone निकाल लेंगे आप. दूसरी चीज ये है कि I do not keep my phone on my desk, so it's either on the other side of the desk or in the other room. If I'm doing something that I don't need to get distracted from, I have ADHD, so my game is a little bit harder. So in my case, I face the wall. So right now you see that you will see my family behind me, but I'm facing the wall. So I can't see what's happening behind me. Uh, ये है. Headphones always on. That's also important. Hira is absolutely right. Getting up from bed, making sure. For me, the workday starts when I come to my desk with a cup of tea or coffee. So that's a ritual that I do. I sit down, I go through Asana, I go through my calendar, I pick out my journal. I will do like a quick mood check. How am I feeling today? What is my big win today? What's going to be a nice to do thing for myself today? And then I'll move on, from my day. There are days when it doesn't happen. So for example, if I have a 7 a.m. meeting and I just woke up, कभी कभी ऐसा होता है कि आप बस उठे and you have to get into a meeting. Still, you need those 5-10 minutes to orient yourself and shift the mindset and make sure कि you start get into that घर के mindset से निकल के आप उस तरफ आ जाएं. For women with children, I know your struggles are harder. I see my sister-in-law working, and every time I see her, I'm like, "You to bhi kar sakti ho," because I don't have Hira and I. We don't have children, so we don't know. But I can imagine it's harder. We do not have any. I do not have any older person living in my house. It's just the adults, and Hira's case also no older person that you need to care for. So for us, it's comparatively easy. But if you guys have older people to care for, children to care for, then of course. But we do have pets, by the way. You will see somebody coming into a Zoom call or meeting from my side, just, you know, going here and there. Um, Productivity, I think another question is same productivity, conversation. People want to know that um, so if somebody has like limited amount of time, so for example, Kauser is saying, I have 3 hours and I want myself to be productive in that time right now. I'm an intern. I don't know what to do, how to utilize my time. Do you think somebody with like that limited amount of bandwidth can build a career in freelancing?
Like, were you asking me, Faiza?
So I'm asking that if somebody has like thoda sa time, like 3 घंटे 4 घंटे रोज के हैं, so what do you
I
say?
I I think वही वाली डिस्कशन जो तुम और मैं कर रहे थे, passive passively freelancing versus actively freelancing. I think it is definitely possible for you to work passively where you just give many शुरू में I think when I was actively working full time, I started doing that on Fridays. Like Friday ko after 5 p.m. I used to basically mass apply to a lot of opportunities, used to write emails, used to write for myself. At that time, I was also pursuing journalism as well. So I used to write a lot of stories. So my Fridays अपनी शाम dedicate करती थी because I saw the potential that this was something that we can do. This I can convert into a full-time career. So I started dedicating my Fridays to it. So I think if somebody has just enough amount of time, they can definitely kind of like, I think it all comes down to कि आप गोल्स कैसे सेट कर लेते हैं शुरू में. अच्छा, अगर मुझे पिछले अगले 6 महीनों में इफ़ आई हैव अ गोल कि मुझे स्लोली एंड ग्रेजुअली डिफरेंट क्लाइंट्स के साथ काम करना है. मनी राइट नाउ इज़ नॉट द प्रॉब्लम बट इवेंचुअली द जॉब इज़ बिकमिंग टू स्ट्रेसफुल, मुझे फ्रीडम चाहिए, मुझे कुछ भी रीजन हो सकते हैं. यू कैन गिव योर सेल्फ गोल कि एवरी सिंगल मंथ आई एम एटलीस्ट मूविंग 10% फॉरवर्ड. वो 10% फॉरवर्ड ये नहीं हो सकता कि आपको क्लाइंट मिल जाए अगले महीने. वो 10% फॉरवर्ड ये हो सकता है कि by this month, my only goal is to finish my portfolio. I will start collecting all the work that I've done at one place, start gathering it, and start making at least portfolio for me. And that's all I have to do this month. So आपने Friday को, Monday को, जो भी time slot आपके पास available है ज़्यादा, you take out some time and you start working on that thing. I think a lot of freelancing is basically kind of like documenting your expertise in a way that the clients think that you're the right person to do the job. And a lot of us basically don't put enough time on that part. We think कि just because हमें काम आता है, somebody would just give us the work. I think 90% of effort, and 90%, I know it's a big number, effort is the behind the scene, is how you present your portfolio, how do you communicate, how present and active you are when you're talking to the client, how you show up, and all of those things. Once you've done all of that work, talking to the client, closing them, selling them becomes extremely easy. And for most of us, स्पेशली टेक करियर्स में आपको कोई 50 क्लाइंट नहीं चाहिए होते हैं टू सस्टेन योरसेल्फ। आपने अगर कोई एक अच्छे क्लाइंट्स 2-3 महीने के लिए लिए हैं और उनके साथ आप एक मिड लेवल का भी प्रोजेक्ट कर रहे हैं, that's more money than enough than you would make in any 9 to 5 job in Pakistan. So that's where the advantage. So I definitely think that's how I started. आप छोटे छोटे goals अपने आप को दें and prepare yourself to the large actual process जिसमें आपको pitch करना शुरू करना पड़ेगा, but उससे पहले का जो back end वाला काम है, just start on it as soon as possible.
हम्म। पाकिस्तान में इंटरनेट के इश्यूज हैं, so I can see the stream is getting stuck a little bit, but still people can watch it, which is good. So Amara has a question: what freelancing platforms would you recommend to start as a PM? Upwork has become very saturated and it's hard to score the first gig there and maintain the gig scoring consistency. Sadly, would you love your insight? This is something that you and I were also talking, that getting your first client on a mainstream platform has become difficult. So what do you think about?
Um, Yeah, you and I were talking about it, and I think हमने previous अपना जो freelancing वाला cohort था उसमें भी इस पे discussion की थी. I think the reason why it's becoming more and more saturated is because of how many people have pivoted into freelancing, how many people saw the potential, and obviously उसके पीछे COVID का हाथ है, उसके पीछे जो recession के rumors थे उसका हाथ है, all of those things, and people are just generally frustrated in their 9 to 5 careers. Um, I would be lying if I say that Upwork and Fiverr have not become saturated. वहाँ पे clients मिलना आसान है. I think it was way easier. Even 5 to 6 years ago, जब हमने Caterpillar start की थी, I think we saw some really good successes. हमारे initial cohort में when women were applying into getting new opportunities from there. But there is one thing that I've always preached, चाहे वो Caterpillar का पहला cohort है या उससे पहले भी, and I've been a huge fan of it. And I think तुम भी उसकी एक बहुत अच्छी फायजा example हो, is just building your personal brand into the work, in a way that you become the brand and not just your portfolio on an XYZ platform. वो Upwork भी हो सकता है, वो Facebook हो सकता है, वो Instagram हो सकता है. The platform should not be a part should at least in the next few years should no longer become a part of you getting a new role. It should always be कि अगर आप LinkedIn पे हैं, then just dedicate more time on building your profile over there so people start coming to you. And that's why I think a lot of people, and I'm thinking as I'm speaking, because why so many people don't do it. Upwork, Fiverr, and a lot of platforms act as a job board, act as a platform जहाँ पे clients ने आके अपनी चीजें डाल दी हैं. You just go there, you start pitching. It's basically a push method जिसमें you are pitching yourself that I need this job. And the response, the feedback, the way you do it is a short-term thing. आपको अगले 1 हफ्ते में पता चल जाएगा कि आपको job मिल रही है नहीं मिल रही है. When I talk about personal branding, it's a long shot. It's basically a consistent effort that you have to do every single day for an extended period of time to be able to get to the point where you start being acknowledged as a leader, as an expert, as an authority in a specific niche. तुमने प्रोडक्ट के बारे में प्रॉब्ली 10 से 10 साल पहले बात करनी शुरू की हो, क्योंकि when nobody was even talking about it. पाकिस्तान जैसी कंट्री में तो आई थिंक people didn't even know what tech product है. वो प्रोडक्ट को समझते हैं कि एक चीज जो a product like could be a plastic bag as well. But tech products are completely different. And you started talking about those things 10 years ago, but now every single time somebody in the industry think about, okay, so who do we have in the tech product industry in Pakistan? People all of a sudden think about you. And not because कि तुमने जाके उनको ये अपनी CVs भेजी है, resumes भेजी हैं, portfolio भेजा है, because you started talking about it. It's because you build that authority, that you know what product management is, and you've worked with XYZ companies, in product पे काम किया. So even when those clients were not actively giving you the work, your personal brand was strong enough that not at any given point, if they need to hire somebody either to speak, either to work with them, your name stays at the top of their mind. And that's the prime example of why personal branding is important. You don't build a personal brand कि आपके पास अगले हफ्ते में काम आना शुरू हो जाएगा. You build a personal brand because it takes you to the point where you no longer have to rely on any other platform to get work. And it's a long game. And those who stick to this long game in a long term start seeing the results like you have seen, start seeing the results that I constantly see on all of my social media platforms. Like no matter what, how I pivot my social media, no matter what skill that I add there, it is no longer about कि हीरा मार्केटियर है या कोडर है कल को अगर मैं बिल्कुल पिवट करके developer बन जाऊं and I learn the coding, I'm 100% sure the moment I will put on my social media that I've learned coding and I'm looking for an opportunity, I would have 10 times more response on that skill set over somebody else who's been working in the coding industry but does not work on their personal brand. And that's why it's so important to play this long game. And I keep encouraging everybody to invest time on your personal brand. There are no excuses कि हमें face दिखाना है नहीं दिखाना है, personal life दिखानी है नहीं दिखानी है. Everybody has a place on social media. And that's where I think you all will see the industry would head, because and it is already headed. I think creator economy is so huge outside Pakistan. Pakistan में fashion lifestyle is a big industry, but the education industry, the creator economy in the US, that's huge. People don't even go to colleges now. They rely on the content that creators are creating, and they're learning skills from them. So yeah, that would be my long-winded answer to why those platforms are nice, but why do you have to play the long game of building your personal brand?
Agreed, agreed. So a few more comments. I think, yeah. So there's a long comment from Sukena. She's saying, I feel such immense pride hearing you two share your stories and wisdom. Though no longer part of the tech community, literally, but I feel so inspired by this conversation. Have I heard it many years ago when I gave up my career for being a homemaker? It would have changed my life's trajectory. Rabia is asking how much time should give to. Thank you, Sukena. I think the work that you do right now even is really amazing, and we need a lot of creative people alongside a lot of crazy people. So absolutely. How much time one should give to each project? I'm only asking for time management tips. So Rabia, it depends on the project की जो requirement है उस हिसाब से आप उसको time देंगी. If you know कि किसी project में कितना time लगेगा, then you can estimate and then plan it accordingly. Just make sure that you understand that number of hours do not equal number of calendar days. So अगर आप 10 घंटे का काम है तो it doesn't mean कि आज के 10 घंटों में पूरा हो जाएगा. Calendar days are separate. So just make sure that you schedule your calendar days properly. Um, so Farah is saying that the struggle with the transition of mind from home stuff to work is a continuous struggle. What practice helped you both? Anything specific, Hira?
I think the same thing for us that I was talking about. I think for me is the mode switch. And that mode switch is more psychological for me. I think I always change into decent clothes, work clothes. I always put some makeup on, even if it is just a concealer. I always make my coffee. It helps me feel like I'm starting my day. I always have a same notebook that I use on my desk, that I create a list on. Yeah, so these are just a few things. It does require a lot of discipline. It does require for you to actually have enough reason. Oh my God, I'm now shifting into my work more. I think, but that's with everything. If you want to work out, there will always be a voice in your head. You'll be like, this couch is so comfy right now. Why don't I just like not do anything or go for a walk? But then you have to push through. So मेरे लिए this has been, I think as much as I love all the extravaganza things in my life, I always think I'm an extremely, I'm a creature of habit. So I just go ahead and do it. I switch the mode and do it.
Yeah, same for me. I think just making sure that you are organized when it comes to work, and if 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 you feel that you have a family that doesn't understand it, so as I keep on telling people that life is a series of negotiations. So having this conversation is very important, that when I'm with you, but when I'm working, then I'm working. And that is really, really important. Conversation is really important. Hira, you and I worked on the freelance accelerator curriculum, and we keep on tweaking it and adding things to it, and make sure that it aligns with what people should learn about freelancing. So, do you want to talk a little bit about that in terms of, so for example, just Rabia and a couple of other people are saying that they have joined cohort 6. So, क्या expectations लेकर वो आए, क्या mindset लेकर आए, क्या outcome expect कर सकते हैं?
So I will say two things. Though both of those things are extremely important for, I think, everybody to understand. चाहे आप वो ले रहे हैं course या नहीं ले रहे हैं, I think do not come with an expectation that right after this course there's going to be like a money making engine that will teach you and it will just start running. That expectation, I think, with any course is wrong. That expectation with any cohort, any program is wrong. That expectation can only become reality if you put in the work, if you spend enough time. And this is why I was emphasizing so much on playing the long game, and that long game is consistent effort. But one thing that is extremely important with this consistent effort is having right type of mentors by your side, having right type of community by your side. And that's what Caterpillars promise you. That's what Faiza promises you. That's what I promise you. Every single time, I think any of us have fell down, any of us have felt that, okay, so the industry is changing this way. This is changing this way. Our first priority is to make sure that women who have graduated from our programs are aware of it. They should know that this is something that is been we constantly kind of like keep a check on the industry itself as well and keep you guys posted on it too. So that would be the number one thing. Come with an expectation that education has been democratized in the world. फ्रीलांसिंग आप यूट्यूब पे लिखेंगे आपको 50,000 वीडियोस मिलेंगी शायद उस हमसे जो हमारे प्रोग्राम से उससे अच्छी वीडियोस भी मिल जाए so don't come with an expectation that we're just teaching you. Come with an expectation that it's a long game, it's a long journey, and you would need tons of support, community mentors around you. And Caterpillars would give you that. Second, come with an expectation that a lot of it's a given research, and I think we're not, the numbers are improving, but still valid. Women of color, South Asian women in general, all of us face tons of imposter syndrome, tons of, for some reason, um, insecurity that we are not good enough. And a lot of women who we work with, they just keep telling us the same thing. They have 8 years of experience, 9 years of experience doing wonderful things in their careers, but constantly feel that they are not ready to do it. And for that, it's extremely important for you to realize your self-worth, for you to have that innate confidence that you are expert, you can do it. And this program allows you or helps you to do that. The most wonderful type of feedback that we receive every single time we are graduating this cohort is the men coming to us and saying that other than all the things that they learned about freelancing, they think that they've gained confidence, that they've gained confidence in their own ability um, to be better at what they do. So even if you just come with these two expectations that after 12 weeks, these are the two changes that you're planning to make, I think this would be a really good investment. And now जो actual वाला जो content वाला जवाब है वो फाइजा आपको देंगी कि exactly पढ़ाते क्या है.
Before I answer that, I think we have another question that's related to this. Rabab is asking, can you share some insights of your freelancing course? I know the basics of online platforms. I want to get better at freelancing. I have seen 100% success rate profiles. I just wonder um, how I can achieve it. Can this course show a way towards that? So I think the idea for us is not to bring somebody who कुछ भी नहीं आता. The program is not for them. We are looking for people who have reached somewhere and now they are feeling stuck. So मैंने 2-4 clients के साथ काम किया है, freelancing platform पे profile बना लिया. अब मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा what are the next steps. So the program is for you. The program is 6. There are 6 modules. The first module is basically for us to help you go through the process of niche selection. So we will talk about freelance का mindset है, क्या trends हैं, and then we'll also talk about niche selection. तो थोड़ी सी उसमें exercises हैं that we want you to do. Work with somebody, work with either me, Hira, or one of our program team members to explore that what are the options available in your skill set. Number two for you is to set goals and business processes. We are very big on goal setting because without having a goal and action plan, you can't go anywhere. If you don't know where you're going, you will end up nowhere. So you need to know कि इस महीने के, इस क्वार्टर के, इस हफ्ते के क्या plans हैं, कहाँ जाना है, what needs to be done, क्या hurdles में anticipate कर सकते हैं, so on and so forth. We'll help you sort out if you need a bank account. We have partners who can help you open up a bank account. And then interview की skills हैं, negotiation की skills हैं, client engagement की skills हैं, ये सारी चीजें module 2 में हम discuss करेंगे. Module 3 is all about building a portfolio. So especially somebody who doesn't have experience but has a very good skill set, this is where you learn how to create samples and how to create fictional clients, how to make sure that you can show what you can do. And the conversation is not just about Upwork. We will talk about optimizing your LinkedIn profile because a lot of us close a lot of contracts via LinkedIn profiles also. We'll talk about outreach emails. So if you reach out to somebody on LinkedIn, how do you write that message to make sure that the people gets back to you? In my case, I feel that Hira and I maybe 70-80% the success ratio hoga when we send out an outreach email. Even people will say no, but at least they will respond. They will get back to you, letting you know कि अच्छा ये नहीं हो सकता, अभी availability भी नहीं है, but just to make sure that you start a conversation. And I think we have found excellent opportunities via LinkedIn. We'll talk about building a website, building a portfolio on a specific platform जो आपके लिए है. So if you're an editor, there's a different platform. If you're a designer, there's a different platform, so on and so forth. Module 4 is all about Upwork. Upwork is our knowledge partner, so we will ask them to also support you in a lot of ways. They will give you their plus membership for free for a month. You can be part of the conversation that they have. Sometimes we also bring a success coach for you. They also give discounts on their paid services to the community that we have built here at CaterpillHERs. Module 5 is something that is all about client acquisition through social media. So Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and then mastering networking and cold outreach as a freelancer, which is important. Something as simple as getting feedback from somebody, reaching out to someone and saying, hey, this is my portfolio. Can you take a look at it and get back to me? A lot of times, something like this can also get you a work opportunity. I recently sent my resume to somebody that I want you to take a look at it and just give me feedback if you can do that. And the person reached back to me proposing a project, basically, after taking a look at my resume. So it's not just about काम दे दो, काम दे दो, काम दे दो. A lot of times there are other strategies for you to start a conversation. And then last module, which is my favorite one, because we'll talk about again AI and automation for improving your productivity, developing intercultural competence, making sure that you are able to portray, who you are as a person, dealing with imposter syndrome, finding a community. And we also sometimes bring in somebody who is a mental health professional to answer your questions about, your own mental health struggles and things like that. So ये एक rundown है of the 6 modules that we teach. Program is blended, so a lot of it is video content that you are going to watch, and then we'll come together every week to have a chat about the things that you have learned. You will work on assignments that we will grade and take a look at. The program team is going to be there to help you along the way, and it's a very close-knit community. Sometimes we also bring our alumni to have conversations with you. A lot of them have taken a lot of unconventional paths, so सारे upper पे freelancing नहीं करे, बहुत सारे रिमोट काम कर रहे हैं, बहुत सारे लिंक्डइन के थ्रू काम कर रहे हैं, बहुत सारे जो है वो कंसल्टिंग और जॉब्स दोनों कर रहे हैं, कुछ हमारे साथ भी काम कर रहे हैं. सो इट्स अ मिक्स बैग ऑफ द काइंड ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटीज पीपल हैव गॉटन आउट ऑफ दैट प्रोग्राम.
Awesome. I think, do we have other follow-up questions? Otherwise, हमारे पास I think Faiza एक talking note पे point एक सवाल था that I really wanted your opinion on. Rejection is a part of the freelancing journey, and how do you handle rejections and turn them into learning opportunities? I think I think especially for somebody who's starting, it's a major blowback where they feel that I'm constantly reaching out to people, and sometimes people not responding also come off as a rejection, that this person did not respond to me, so they rejected me. And I wanted first, obviously, your opinion on it. And then also, how do we not take those things personally, especially in a professional career? You would have so many of those, चाहे आप अपनी company के लिए पैसे raise कर रहे हो, चाहे कुछ भी कर रहे हो, I think all of those, ghosting, whatever you want to call it. So your 2 cents on it.
Yeah, so I'm seeing comments. I think most of the comments are agreeing with us and saying thank you. So thank you everyone who's joining. At least 17 something people are watching. Rejection is really, really important. Thinking about it is really important, and you need to have a thicker skin. मैंने और हिरा ने कैटरपिलर्स के लिए और कोई के लिए फंड रेजिंग का बहुत सारा काम किया है, बहुत सारे प्रोजेक्ट्स के लिए अप्लाई किया है, जॉब्स के लिए अप्लाई किया है, फंड रेजिंग की ग्रांट्स की एप्लीकेशंस लिखी हैं, अपवर्क पे चीजें अप्लाई की हैं। जवाब नहीं आता बहुत सारी दफा people just let you know that either you are underqualified, overqualified. Sometimes they will tell you that you are not the right fit. Sometimes they are going to tell you you are asking for so much money, we don't want to hire you. A lot of times, so मेरे साथ ये भी हुआ है कि somebody would say कि जी आपके मुल्क में political issues बहुत है. I don't think for me that instability is going to give me a lot of anxiety. I don't want to hire you. ऐसा भी हुआ है. So you need to learn to not take this personally. This is work. The person, whoever is saying no or not responding, is not trying to hurt you. I do not think anyone is trying to out there to get you. In most cases, it's just that either they are too busy, they have not seen it. Sometimes people also don't care, but it's not it don't take it personally. हमारे केस में मैं और तुम बहुत सारी ईमेल्स लिखते हैं, बहुत सारे जवाब आते हैं, कभी कभार सेकंड फॉलो अप पे जवाब आता है. सो यू ऑल्सो नीड टू लर्न टू फॉलो थ्रू. सो अगर आपने एक दफा किसी को रीच आउट किया, somebody did not respond, अगर मुझे और हिरा जैसे बंदे को भी आपने रीच आउट किया, हिरा, we get so many messages on our social media. Sometimes we miss it, and someone will just ping us back and say, "Hi, sorry, मैंने आपको मैसेज किया था, you didn't see it," and you and I will remember, अच्छा हमें इसको जवाब देना था. So A, do not take it personally. B, when you reach out to people, have a clear ask. Do not say, "Hey, how are you?" and then forget about it. Just write a proper message, a proper email, what you are looking for, what you need. Then you also need to be open to tweak what you are asking for. In a lot of cases, what you are, and have you researched the person? So for example, आप किसी के पास मुझे आके आप बोलें कि जी मुझे अपनी कंपनी में काम दे दें, but you see that I run two non-profits and a very small team at Caterpillars. I may not be the right employer for you in a lot of cases, or in a lot of cases I may not be the person with a lot of work opportunities for you in my own company, but maybe if you reach to a bigger company, they may have more open positions. So ask आपकी क्या है, किसके सामने present कर रहे हैं, कैसे present कर रहे हैं, that's important. Still, if you get rejected, maybe you need to tweak your messaging. And then at the end of the day, do not take it personally. People are not out there to get you. There can be a million reasons because something happened and they did not get back to you. Also, learn to follow up and be respectful about it. Do not get mad if somebody is busy or somebody couldn't respond back to you. Do not send people question marks. Question mark, question mark, question mark. It's so common and it's really irritating, because you realize that the other person is feeling that they are entitled to your time. So in every case, either आपने प्रोजेक्ट के लिए अप्लाई किया है, ग्रांट के लिए अप्लाई किया है, मेंटोरशिप के लिए किसी को रीच आउट किया है, नौकरी के लिए किया है, किसी भी चीज के लिए किया है, you need to understand that you are not entitled to what people have to offer. You have to prove yourself to be a person that people want to give that thing to. And I think the last thing that's really important is also to see कि मैं जिन चीजों के लिए अप्लाई कर रहा हूँ, जैसे कुछ मून शॉट्स होते हैं, राइट? Here you and I also do that. कि हमें पता है कि we are a very small team, maybe that this grant won't come to us, or I apply to something, I see कि यार ये बहुत बड़ी कंपनी है, they are looking for a very senior person, I don't have that kind of experience, and still we take that moonshot because we just want to put ourselves in that situation कि कोई interview कर ले, because you want to learn from that process. Do that also, but then also realize that the thing that you are applying for, or thing that you are looking for, and your own skill set and the way that you portray your skill set, they are a match. There are AI tools available for keyword analysis. There are tools available for doing comparative analysis on you and other people who offer the same services. You can do job scan है, chat GPT है, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं जिसके थ्रू आप कर सकते हैं. So एक तो ये कि पर्सनली नहीं लेना है, दूसरा ये कि don't stop, then find a way to just navigate through. Yeah.
I completely agree, and I think you and I would, you and I are a good example because we're not Bill Gates, जिसके पास messages जो हैं वो assistant के through हो जाते होंगे, and we're not somebody जिसके पास कोई message नहीं आता. I think तुम्हारा inbox हमेशा उससे रहता है, मेरे inbox में भी constantly चीजें आती रहती हैं, चाहे वो live session के request हो, चाहे वो वर्कशॉप्स की रिक्वेस्ट हो, चाहे वो जनरल टीम की तरफ से भी रिक्वेस्ट हो, एंड 50 टैब्स हैं जिनके थ्रू चीज़ें चल रही होती हैं. एंड आई ऑलवेज एम्पथाइज विद दैट बिकॉज आई फील दैट अगर मुझ जैसी ऑर्डिनरी बंदी के इनबॉक्स में ये चल रहा है, देन इमेजिन इफ somebody has much more other responsibilities, and if I'm asking somebody their time for free, that put the priority probably maybe on the bottom two things that they have to do. So for all of those things, it's extremely important for you to have more empathy that this person may just be busy. Even if they don't respond back to me, there's nothing against them. Never hold it against. I've seen people कि they मेरे साथ तो Instagram पे बहुत होता है ये. People like constantly keep messaging me, and then 3 month तक जब उनके पास कोई जवाब नहीं देता, they just call me names and leave, that I'm just so rude, I'm horrible, this or that. So as Faiza said, nobody owes you anything, nobody owes you any response. If they are responding to you, they are being kind, they are being generous, they are accepting an offer from a stranger on the internet. So just be mindful, be kind, and also even if nothing happens, do not feel hurt by it, do not feel that this is something, until unless somebody intentionally responds to you with rudeness and say that how dare you message me. It just 90% of the time it's a very, very, I would say, genuine lack of, like, they just didn't have time probably. So always follow up. And it's just a part of life. I think there's so many times where you would be vividly get rejected as well, where somebody would say that we have decided not to hire you for this position. I would always say that it's just even having that response is better than no response. So you showing up for that opportunity is what matters the most. Never take any rejections, any non-responsiveness personally in this journey at all. At least in your entire professional journey, they just all are there to kind of like teach you something as well. अगर कोई किसी भी आपके DM पे कोई भी आपको जवाब नहीं दे रहा है, then it's a feedback. You need to change what you're writing, because how is it possible that you're reaching out to 100 people and nobody is responding? That means that you need to change how you're writing. So take feedback from all of those activities, learn from it, and that's how you improve. So yeah, I think we're out of time. Do we have any other question that we can take, or I
One
have to?
question is from Rabia. Quickly इसको wrap up करते हैं. I also need to jump into another call. How to
Yeah,
deal with micromanagement from the people that you work with, either your clients or people
I think
more
have
around.
things in writing, I would say. Micromanagement एक ऐसी चीज है जो कि आपको conversation से पता चल जाता है, before you actually start working with a client, how they talk, how finicky they are, how micromanaging they are. I think having that one-on-one discussion on the call, आपको red flag अगर शुरू में दिख गया है, my recommendation would be to have everything on document. Just say कि ये feedback के rounds हैं, इतनी दफ़ा feedback होगा, इतनी revisions हैं, इसके बाद जो है ये extra पैसे होंगे. All of those things. When you think कि this could go south, I would always go back to the contract and have everything in writing.
Yeah, agreed, 100%. Write things down, create a brief, create like a small statement of work. Make sure the client acknowledges it, approves it. If you're working on Upwork, there are milestones available. You can add deliverables and outcomes to it. So make sure that everything is in writing. I think that's about it. Thank you so much, Hira. I hope this
Thank you
conversation
so
was
much.
helpful. I'm going to
And if
add.
any,
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead. I thought
I'm go.
you're
Yeah, I'm going to add a few resources also, and then the link to the accelerator. I think link to the accelerator is already in the post, but I'm going to do that again. if somebody wants to explore it, and if they have any questions, they can just reach out. Yeah.
Yeah, I was exactly saying the same thing, that if there are any questions about the Caterpillars accelerator, and it's the cohort 6, if you wanna have a chat with somebody who has been through this accelerator, feel free to drop me a DM, Faiza a DM, or Caterpillar's team, and we can connect you with somebody who's already been through this accelerator to take their feedback to see if it's worth it. But I would love to see some of you in the cohort. I think the deadline is, when is the deadline, Faiza? This Sunday? Yeah. Okay. So we're closing the
Sunday.
applications on Sunday, so you have the weekend to sleep over it. And yeah, thank you so much for asking such wonderful questions. Hope to see you all around somewhere on social media.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.